My name's Kevin Sampson. I'm the Strategy Planning and Portfolio Manager for UK Power Networks Information Systems. How I sort of started off is quite a number of years ago actually in the utilities sector. Sort of post my first degree, I actually got involved in a lot of change initiatives within the utilities sector, which to be fair wasn't typically badged IT. It was more sort of business change, but the relevance of sort of how it became IT will sort of become more prevalent as I moved through my career. So I started off as a business improvement analyst, looking at different implementations of performance management based systems, people performance management based systems, quality management systems, and other initiatives associated with transforming basically an old systems estate. From there I was quite fortunate actually to work on the very first, or one of the first, public-private partnerships, with sort of London Underground and also EDF Energy at the time. I was responsible for the management of performance data associated with what was known as the Power Services contract that we had with London Underground. Enjoyed that for quite a while, but sort of had at the back of my mind to sort of further, if you like, or deepen my interest within sort of analysis and change. From there I saw an opportunity to join what was a corporate IT function. At the time it was coming together, it was an amalgamation of all the various companies' IT departments, if you like, into a new formation called Business Improvement and Technology. I saw an opportunity as a strategy analyst, an IT strategy analyst, and I jumped at the chance from there. And to be honest, what was really fantastic was actually being able to join that corporate IT function really opened my eyes to the IT side of the industry. So how to make businesses operate successfully are normally around sort of looking at changing systems which help to make business processes more effective and efficient. So I think really for me the sort of sparking of my career within IT happened at that point. And from there I was very, very fortunate enough to be supported to do my MBA by the organisation, and then post that I became an internal business consultant working across the different business lines alongside third-party consultancies and other client-side advisors to plan, develop and deliver transformational change, which to be fair typically has an impact on either process, systems or people. From there I find myself sort of an opportunity at UK Power Networks to join the team to lead their strategy, planning and also portfolio team. So in a nutshell it's kind of me. I didn't really sort of start out, if you like, within an IT career path. I kind of, perhaps like others, found my way into here once my eyes were opened actually by joining a corporate IT function.
What were your reasons for joining BCS?
Yeah, so I think for me, if I look at this actually from two angles, both from the potential and the opportunity that it actually gives both the organisation and also me personally. So from an organisational perspective, I think it helps us to look through a shared lens as to the sort of development of different trends within our industry. I think that really helps, that shared knowledge really looks to make sure that we take a rounded approach to tackling challenges that we have with the business in partnership with business lines. For me personally, I think it sort of builds my sort of knowledge, builds my capability, and I think enhances what I can offer back into my organisation, and not just that, but the industry as well. So I think for me, both personally and collectively, it's about the sort of, if you like, the development of my skills and capabilities for my organisation and the wider IT industry was very appealing for me.
What advice would you give to someone thinking about applying for BCS membership?
I mean, for me, to sort of look at the membership as a series of tools that will enable you to better your capability, not just for yourself but for your organisation. So I wouldn't recommend anybody just joining this membership as to earn a badge, so to speak. Look at the tools, look at the capabilities it gives you, and actually utilise that, not just for your self-development but also the development of your organisation. If you think about it, you know, IT changes now at such a pace, perhaps at a pace that we've not actually seen for a very, very long time. What's the hot trend today? Probably in the next 6 months will be, you know, quite an old technology. Look at the rate that mobile changes as well. So I think having a tool set to enable you to keep up to date with all of those developments, share knowledge with peers across a network who are facing similar challenges with their organisations, I think it's a really powerful thing. So look at it from that perspective. That's the advice I'd give.
How will BCS membership help you in your current role?
I think the membership is a really powerful thing actually to help me personally explore all the facets of my role. So if I look at my current role within my organisation of UK Power Networks, the role itself is very broad in nature. There are many facets to it. I have a lot of areas of responsibility, and I think having a guiding hand such as the SFIA framework will actually help to ensure that I'm exploring all facets of that role to the sort of best of my capability.
Why do you feel it is important to work towards being a chartered IT professional?
I think for me, again, I'd like to look at this from both a sort of a personal and organisational perspective. So from an organisational perspective, I think what it demonstrates that actually the IT senior team within my organisation is keen to actually develop those individuals within the IT sphere all the way up to a sort of a chartered level. I think it's a sort of a tangible demonstrator about how seriously the organisation takes the development of all of our people, which I think is very, very powerful. Certainly for me personally, I actually really like the thought of wanting to attain chartered status, because the process isn't actually that easy, and I think it shouldn't be. It should be an accolade that actually takes quite a robust process to achieve and to demonstrate that you're operating at that level. So for me, there's the challenge, but also the two, that once you've overcome that challenge and you are recognised as a chartered professional, the actual benefits that gives you, the attractiveness for me again is an access to quite a unique peer group of professionals that are dedicated, as I am, to the forward development of our industry.
How would being a chartered IT professional benefit your career?
I think for me, that sort of peer connectivity, that peer network, to be able to sort of interact with those who are like-minded, sort of senior professionals in our industry is quite a powerful thing. I think to share knowledge and to be able to sort of understand how we can tackle challenges collaboratively will be really, really powerful and helpful. I think as well, a lot of organisations do have the expectation that, you sort of work up to a chartered professional status. I mean, if you take a lot of engineering organisations, such as mine, for example, the qualifications those guys have go right up to the sort of chartered status. So I think for me, a sort of recognition that actually within the IT industry, you can get to that as well. But also finally for me, it's about, the development of the next organisational generation coming through. So being able to sort of say that I am a chartered professional, I want to be able to use that as a tool to give something back, develop that next organisational generation, if you like, coming through, who really, to be fair, should be better than those that have gone before.